Welcome back to Down the Middle. Next thing we're going to talk about is the Western Conference of the NBA. First thing we want to get into, though, is Oklahoma City Thunder and how they're dominating the West. What you think about that?
I wouldn't say dominating the West, but they do have the best record. Spurs are climbing right behind them, and then you have the Memphis Grizzlies. The Western Conference is wide open, in my opinion, but they're doing good. I wouldn't say dominating. I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't say the Spurs are right behind them either. So I mean that's
second place.
Okay, they were first place last year. How'd they end up again?
I'm just saying the question dominating the West.
Oh, okay. I think they are dominating the West. I don't think anybody's really there to challenge them. I mean the championship, the Western Conference championship is theirs to lose at this point. I mean who really are we talking about? I mean Phoenix or somebody who's coming out of the woodworks to beat Oklahoma City?
True, the Western Division is wide open, and I honestly believe that Oklahoma City will win the West, and it will win in the West in dominating fashion. Honestly, because you have Durant and Westbrook, I think those two players will be a huge key for Oklahoma City to go any further than the NBA Finals, and I think they will get there.
All right. First off, the Thunder have one of the best offenses in the Western Conference. And then they're ranked number 3, by the way. So you mentioned the Spurs. Let's jump into the Spurs. They are an older team, and they do have the second seed in the West. What y'all have to say about
We
that?
see the same storyline every year. If we had never saw the Spurs being a top 5 team and then lose like in the second round of the playoffs, then I'd be like, okay, maybe they have a chance. They do this every year. I mean, Tim Duncan puts up 20-18 a game, and then they go to the playoffs and they have nothing left. They can't win a 7-game series with that core.
It all depends on their health, in my opinion. But I wouldn't say the Spurs is my dark horse pick in the first place, but I can never count them out. I mean, I bet you that Thunder wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs if they had the choice to pick between a couple of teams. They wouldn't want to see the Spurs.
Honestly, I think when it comes to San Antonio, it all depends on matchups, and I think it's real critical because if the Spurs pick a team like say Portland or something like that, if Portland makes the playoffs, I think they could be a sleeper pick. But at the same time, I think the Spurs have the opportunity to get it done.
All right. Next thing we want to talk about is the Lakers or the Clippers. Which Los Angeles team would you prefer? Myself, I like the Clippers. First of all, because they're fresh, they're young, and the Lakers to me are just getting old. You can never rule out Kobe Bryant, though, because he is a great player. But my pick will have to be the Clippers.
I have to agree with you 100% on this one because the Clippers have Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, and they are very athletic and very talented. The Lakers, however, they got Kobe Bryant and Paul Gasol and almost nobody else. I think the Lakers need to trade desperately. Otherwise, the Lakers will be done.
I'm sorry. I mean, I prefer the Clippers, but when you said Kobe Bryant, Paul Gasol, and nobody else, Andrew Bynum, anybody?
Nobody else.
Andrew
Nobody
Bynum,
else.
They got their own big 3,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Okay, I don't want to take
Averaging
either one of them.
double-double.
I don't want the Clippers. I don't want the Lakers. Give me Oklahoma City. That's my choice. I mean,
But that's not the question.
I mean, the Clippers are flashy, Lob City. I get it, but can they play defense? Can they score? I mean, they've been on a slide league because they don't have a
the Clippers
score.
are just a 2-guard away.
I mean, the
They
Lakers
just need a 2-guard because with Chauncey Billups being out, getting hurt, that really kind of hurt them.
I mean, Kobe Bryant's playing in a mask. Come on, have you seen that thing?
Okay.
Like,
So we're not going to talk about the Lakers or the Clippers, but I still think the Clippers holding it down for Los Angeles. Okay, on the subject of the Lakers, though, do you think Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant should have the MVP title this year?
Oh, that's a tough one.
LeBron. I don't necessarily agree with LeBron. I mean, his choice of going to Miami, but I mean, he's playing the best basketball we've ever seen. Maybe it's easier for him now, you know, with Jeremy Lin and all the other storylines, and so he hasn't had to focus on the hate so much. LeBron's clearly the best player.
I'm sorry, Jerry Lin shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence.
Well, I mean, he took the storyline
I
off
do
of
agree with you.
LeBron.
I do agree
Okay,
with you
there we go.
about LeBron
Okay,
James.
not talking about Jeremy Lin, guys. We're talking about who's the MVP.
We weren't
the
talking
MVP,
about Jeremy Lin, though.
I think, should be Kevin Durant because OKC cannot function properly without him. Now, on the other hand, the Heat can function without LeBron James. They can.
They
No,
can.
I wouldn't go.
I wouldn't say that.
Because LeBron James, he acts as their facilitator as well, and then he plays
But you
elite
still
defense
have
and offense.
You still have Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
True, they'd be a playoff team.
They wouldn't be nearly.
They wouldn't be a championship
They wouldn't be.
contender.
What are they? The best team in the league? No, they wouldn't be
No.
nearly close to that without LeBron.
I think you're going a little bit far with best
But
team in the league.
Of course, I think the MVP goes to a well-deserved player. I think Kevin Durant has the edge right now, but anything can change. Anything can change once the season ends, and I think it'll be a toss-up between Durant and LeBron James.
I think you're just saying that because you like her.
No.
But like you said, it is mostly a toss-up between Kevin Durant and LeBron James more than Kobe Bryant. He's
So
kind of
nobody
washed
goes
out
I
this
give you
season.
that. I give you that.
But
Kevin
Kevin,
shooting 30 shots per game, so I don't know.
I mean, he scores a lot. I mean,
He shoots a lot,
I mean,
too.
yeah, he shoots a lot. Exactly. So, I mean, it's not hard, but LeBron does everything. You put the
Right.
rebounds, you put the
Yes.
steals in there. I mean,
And what about the assists?
It's the blocks. I mean, go ahead. I mean, he fills the stat sheet, and
Yeah.
they win games with him on the floor.
but can LeBron James do everything that he's doing without Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh?
He already did that with the Cleveland
Yeah, he did.
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Now, he can't shoot in the last 2 minutes. I mean, but that's been
He's got to work on his clutch. That's
He doesn't
it.
have to do that. I mean, but he can.
But
carry
Kevin
you.
Durant is doing it.
Yeah,
He's doing
but
it.
it's not a bit. It's,
Okay,
yeah.
yes, he do have Russell Westbrook,
Yeah.
but I still think he can do it single-handedly. Whereas
See, LeBron already done it
James,
single-handedly.
The
I
first
mean, he done
46
it. He
minutes,
won 2 MVPs
I mean, he's
already
one of the best
with
players
Mo
in the game.
Williams and some other guys that we don't even
Yeah.
know.
And where are they
So,
now? I guess they're still in
Mo
Cleveland.
Williams is at the Clippers.
Oh,
Don't start.
Okay.
That's my team, the Clippers. Back to the Clippers, guys. So we was having this big hype about Chris Paul. What do you think? Like, why is it dying down so fast?
Why does it die down so fast? I wouldn't say die down fast. The Billups are getting hurt. I think that kind of slowed down the Clippers a little bit. That's about it.
I think the main thing, they've been talking about a lot of different topics in the NBA, insanity and all that. I think that it died down mainly because of insanity and what's going on around New York.
All right, guys. Well, we definitely cover a lot in this segment, and I still think Kevin Durant is going to be our MVP for this
LeBron, baby.
2011-12 season. And with that said, we'll be right back with more Down the Middle. Welcome back to Down the Middle, where we're going to move right along to the NFL and what's going on there. First thing I want to touch on is Peyton Manning and the Colts. How do you feel about that? Me personally, I have a soft spot for Peyton Manning. He's been with the Colts for 14 years, and I'm on the fence about why they let him go.
Well, basically, if they let him go, honestly, it definitely is going to be a future thing. Right now, everybody's looking at the short term, which is, Peyton Manning, he may have, 3-4 years left in him, good years left in him. And so by him doing that, I mean, they released him and going with a younger, fresher quarterback. And look, I mean, that's simple.
I mean, you're overlooking the fact that he has a broke neck or he has some problems with his neck. I mean, the neck is the hardest part of your body to heal. It doesn't just come back when you go to sleep. So I honestly don't think he can play. I don't think we're looking at 3 or 4 years of Peyton.
But with that said about Manning's neck injuries, would you put all of your hopes, dreams, aspirations, inspirations into a rookie quarterback who never played an NFL game a day in his life?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Okay, my point proven.
Yes, because, I mean, everyone had to start somewhere. Peyton came in as a rookie.
Quarterback, never played a game before.
Exactly. He had to. Everybody has to start somewhere. And in the long run, Andrew Luck would definitely be a star quarterback.
And this may be the guy that if you're going to blow the team for, this might be the one that you start fresh with.
I honestly think that Andrew Luck will be a great quarterback in the NFL, even though he hasn't played a game before. I think he will learn a lot from the Colts, and he will be a great quarterback.
Well, okay. Obviously, we're having some kind of disagreement over here, the guys against me, okay. But but we're going to talk about where he's going. Where do you think he's going to go? Me, personally, I think he's going to the Dolphins.
Miami's the best choice. I mean, you start to go to Kansas City and you're just too far. You're too far west. So you need to come back south. He's going to South Beach without the infomercial like LeBron. So he's going right to South Beach the same way. And I think he'll have fun down there if he can play. That's if his neck is messed up. I mean, the quarterback vision. You can't do very much with a broke neck. So we'll see if he can play. Yeah, Miami's the best choice.
I think I hear rumors about him being traded to the New York Jets, mainly because I hear that the Jets are thinking about releasing Mark Sanchez if they do sign with Peyton Manning. That's what I'm hearing.
But he would not be a perfect fit for New York at all.
Well, what do you mean?
He just would not be.
Because then he would have to compete with Eli Manning. He doesn't want to. I mean, Washington is also in the mix. He doesn't want to play against Eli Manning. He wants to keep it. He wants to stay as far away from his brother. His brother's now becoming one of the best quarterbacks in the league now. So. Okay,
well, no one knows where Peyton Manning is gonna go. I just really hope he go to the Dolphins because they have weapons on that team, and they can definitely produce championship or some kind of titles with those people.
I think if he does sign with the Dolphins, I think they could be able to compete with the New England Patriots every year in the Eastern Division.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay, let's not talk about Peyton Manning and where he's going. Let's go.
So we're just gonna skip that.
Let's just overlook that for right now. Let's jump into my favorite team, my hometown team, New Orleans Saints, and this bounty program. First of all, let me say what I have to say about the Saints. The Saints, one of the best teams in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Secondly, I think the players who was involved in the bounty program, it should have just been kept in-house. It should have been an in-house thing.
Don't worry about this. I'll throw mine out. First of all, okay, New Orleans is going down this is going to be worse than Alex Smith in the fourth quarter against the Saints. So this is going. First of all, they're going to lose a couple draft picks out of this. I know. They're going to lose a couple draft picks out of this because Greg Williams is involved with this as a coach. This is not, like a player bench. This is a coach now. So they're going to lose a couple draft picks out of this. You just franchised Drew Brees. He doesn't want. He's talking about skipping workouts because he wants a longer contract. You already wasted your franchise tag on Drew Brees, and now you have to get somebody else. You have to give him a longer contract. I just don't think it's going to look. It looks pretty bad for them.
Unfortunately, I'm with Daryl on this one, mainly because worst part of the situation is the coaches. They knew that Greg Williams and some of the players were involved, and they didn't own up to their responsibilities.
And they were warned. They missed the warning.
Guys, I'm not going to let y'all talk bad about the Saints. Not today, not tomorrow, not while we're doing this show.
No, we can talk bad about the Saints as much as we want to.
But back to Greg Williams. I think his punishment he shouldn't be able to coach in the NFL anymore because he had bounties with other teams also, the Titans, the Redskins, the Bills. Like, you have bounties with 3 other teams, and now you have it with a 4th team, which is the Saints. And I don't go for that with my Saints. So I think he should be banned from coaching in the NFL. As far as the players and everything, fines, lose a couple draft picks, whatever. But, I still think the Saints are going to be fine at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, for me, the Saints will be going downhill.
They're going down.
They're going absolutely down. I don't care. You lose draft picks like that, that's going to spell doom for New Orleans.
Let's put the importance that the NFL has done a lot to protect its players. You talk about the lay hits, the helmets. They do not want violence in any kind of way. And when a coach is directly involved in the violence, he's directly involved in the bounties. If the players had the bounties on themselves, they spend their own money on that. You can't control that. But a coach rewarding the players?
Okay, guys. Sorry, I can't let y'all continue to talk about my Saints like this. So, tell me how you feel about the bounty program in basketball with Charles Barkley and his comment.
Well, the comment with Charles Barkley admitting to it, it was kind of crazy, especially going after Shawn Kemp. Now, Shawn Kemp is one of my favorite basketball players of all time, and to hear that he was actually targeted, it kind of hurts. But it's also a compliment, as well, as far as, saying that, okay, they're this good that we need to take them out, so.
Okay, well, guys, that wraps up this segment. Well, we've established that we don't know where Peyton Manning is going. We do know that the Saints are going to be in some type of trouble, but I don't think they're going downhill. No, they're still going to remain a championship team. We'll be right back with more Down the Middle. Welcome back to Down the Middle. What we're going to talk about now, our school, Jackson State, and how they played in the SWAC championship. First of all, I want to congratulate them for making it to the SWAC championship because a lot of schools didn't do it. So how do you feel about Jackson State and the SWAC championship?
You know, I think Jackson State played to the best of their ability, even though the games were very, very close. Both games were very close. Women lost by 2 and the men lost by 3. There will be plenty of improvement.
Yeah, Valley's playing a tremendous basketball, so we also want to congratulate their program as well. But Jackson State, we had some problems this year, but I mean, like Jeff said, these were extremely close games, and watch out next year because, we have the confidence to beat any team.
Now, we may lose Janiro Bush this year, the men, and as well as a couple of injuries, but I think that with the return of everybody else on the team, I think they will do some damage in the SWAC next season.
Yeah, Jackson State definitely doesn't have a lot of seniors on their team. So the team, the men's basketball team anyway, should return. Most of their players should return.
I think Janero's leaving. I think this is his final year, so it's kind of bad to see it end in an injury, but yeah.
We have some video of the boys and the girls basketball team at the SWAC championship. Here it is. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Down the Middle.